Hi everybody, welcome at the first SOFA session. My name is Annemiek van Boeien and I'm an industrial design engineer working here in Delft as an assistant professor. In the weekly SOFA sessions I will reflect on your work and answer questions raised during the course. We have chosen the word SOFA session as a metaphor for an informal discussion. Please feel free to share work, questions and more at the discussion forum, so that we have food for thought and learn from each other. I would say to my students, dare to share. If you have an important question, then please be careful where you post it. As you have may experienced already, the edX interface of the discussion platform is not very user-friendly. Your post can be easily overlooked and get lost. So please follow the threads or topics that we offer to structure the forum. In the third week, we are planning to offer you the possibility to join a group with participants of the same interest. And that might improve the interaction, we will see. I will come back to that next week. It was a pleasure to read your introductions and morning rituals. I like the observation, for example, of Ajit from India, that nobody mentions going to the toilet. It seems to be overlooked, or maybe it's a worldwide taboo, who knows? Did you find our morning rituals at the world map? Your moderators Emma and Anne, and I, we made short videos. You can find them on the map in Delft. That's between Rotterdam and The Hague. If you did not post your intro yet, you can still do it via the header course in the welcome section. In the pre-assignment, introduce yourself. And did you fill in the word cloud? The cloud shows a great variety of terms, with only two salient ones: creativity and innovation. Okay, but let's go to your work and reflect on the design process. Okay, let's have a look at the design process that you shared on the discussion forum. This is the work of Sandra, and I think it's a nice visualization, and what stands out is that she started with a problem, and I think many of you and many designers, they start with a problem. But it's interesting to see that there are also students or designers like Larissa starting from maybe a frustration, which is also a kind of problem, but she translates it also in an opportunity that she sees. Nelson is starting from the needs of customers. Here is another one, I think, from Mohammed. He's also starting from a need. But you can also start from an opportunity or just a topic that you're interested in, or probably in real life the client will also have a question to you as a designer. The design process often starts with a research. We do a lot of research to fully understand what is actually the reason that we design, what kind of effect do we want to achieve. Like here, Larissa is actually also expressing that she would like to end up with happy people, which is on a higher level the effect of the design. And actually Mohammed is also stressing the happy customer. So it's the raison d'être, the reason of the design. What we also see is that the different design processes are visualized in different ways. This is a very lively visualization, and with the basic phases of design, I must say. So first the reason for your design, then a lot of thinking, I guess, research, finally the conceptualization and the effects. This is also a very nice drawing of César, that he's actually also showing that more the character of design, how that you actually start from a very broad perspective to a more concrete concrete end, which expresses also the character of design, that you always go back, a little bit back and forth. Okay, this is then the final overview I made related to our course. And here again you see that we mention different phases of the design process. We mention different activities. I inserted the intermediate results, like a design challenge, ideas, concepts, and a tested concept, and a final presentation. Also something of the characteristics of a design process, which is typically that we diverge and converge. And what is not mentioned here, but is also already in another example mentioned, is that it's also with many iterations. And if you look in the Delft Design Guide, you can also see how these iterations are presented in the basic cycle of design. That we actually go from the values that we want to achieve, or the needs or functions, and that we then go thinking about, okay, what are our criteria, what is actually what we want to design, and start designing, and always evaluate our designs, and maybe go back to formulate our criteria, and then and so this is actually represented in this cycle. Okay, my final message is that please develop your own process. Because every designer has another way to learn how to design, but also to find out what works best for you. So that's why it's very nice that you all started to sketch your own design process, and by learning from each other you will maybe fine-tune your own process, but first reflect on what works for you. This week you will discover more about your morning ritual and fill in the templates. You can print the templates, fill them in, make a picture and then upload the file. Or you can make a video in which you can explain your results. Then you just upload the video link. You can find all the details in the syllabus. The course is open 24 hours per day, so you can access the discussion forums and the course materials anytime. The assignments have weekly deadlines. However, the only hard deadline is for the peer reviews. Nevertheless, this course is meant to be a place where you can learn with and from others. We like you to experience collaboration and peer feedback, so hence we can recommend that you adhere to the soft deadlines. And bear in mind, if you are on time, your results may be discussed in the SOFA sessions. So good luck and see you next week.